What's up, guys? My name is Tim. I am the event director of METCON Rush, here to bring you guys your standards for the movements and also the flow of the events, right? So kind of create some visuals here for you guys. I'm going to do the RX team, the intermediate team, and the scaled team. All of those divisions will be done in this one briefing, right? So kind of, obviously some are similar, some are different, but we'll touch base and all of them together, get it all knocked out. So the first thing you guys got going on, your first event on Saturday for the RX teams and intermediate teams, this will be Sunday for scaled, will be your clean ladder, right? That'll be the first event. The way this will work is you and your partner have 45 seconds to lift the bar and a 15-second transition to the next. So we'll have a row of bars in a row for all the men, and there'll be a row of bars for the women. So both divisions, so say the first division goes intermediate teams on Saturday, the men will be lifting on one side and the women will be lifting on the other side. You guys will go simultaneously. So we'll have, whatever it is, 8 men's bars set up on one side, 8 women's bar on the other, and you'll work your way up. You have 45 seconds between you and your partner to make the lift. So the way we'll start, we'll have one team on the men's bar, one team on the women's bar, and everybody else will follow from behind, right? 3, 2, 1, go. I go first, I hit my lift, I drop it, then my partner goes, they hit it, and then we rest till the 45-second window is up. Things to think about here, number one, the clean could be a power or it could be a squat. It's your choice. You don't have to, you could do power the whole way through, you could squat and power, whatever, you can mix and match. Just make sure no matter what happens, you guys finish with the elbows through in a full lockout position, whether it's a squat clean or a power clean at the end of that lift. One question I have is if your partner misses and you don't, what happens? You will continue to move on. So if I miss and you're my partner and you make it, you keep going, I'm out, right? And then what happens is whatever bar you end on and whatever bar I end on, it's your total weight. So, if you hit the heaviest bar at the end, I hit the lightest bar at the end, in the beginning, right? We combine that for your total score. If both of you clear the ladder, you both can go at the very end and do the last bar. Now, that being said, the last bar, so we'll go ahead and say the third, the RX team first. The last bar for the RX men is 315, and for the women is 220, right? If you both clear that ladder, there'll be a preloaded bar at 325 for the men and a preloaded bar at 230 for the women. If we both clear the ladder, you have to lift the exact same weight. So if we both want to do whatever. So if it's preloaded at 325 and 230, and we both want to hit that weight, great. If you want to go 330, but I can only do 325, you have to compromise. You cannot have one do one weight and one do the other. It has to be the same weight, if that makes sense. So that preloaded bar is just there, so the bar's already loaded. If you both want to go 350, you can do that. But again, whatever weight you choose, you have to do the same weight together. Now, in the 45-second windows, you have as many attempts as you want. So if you make your first lift and then I go and I miss and I miss it again, as long as I finish it within the 45-second window, then we're good. When you get to the very, very last bar number 8, the preloaded bar, right? If I miss, I'm done. I don't get a second shot. The next person goes, they make it, great. If they miss it, they're done. You don't have a second attempt at the very, when I say the last bar, I mean the 8th bar. So you have 7 bars to get through just to get to the 1 rep max bar, right? So the 8th bar, which is preloaded at 325 for the men, 230 for the RX division. If we get there together, you get 1 chance of that weight, all right? For the intermediate division, your last bar is 285 for the men and 195 for the women. So your preloaded bar would be 295 at the very, very end for bar number 8, and it'll be 205 as a preloaded bar for the women. And for the scaled, your last bar number 7 is 235 pounds for the men, 165 for the women. So if you were to clear that, your next preloaded bar number 8 would be 245 for the men and 175 for the women. So again, 45-second windows to lift, then a 15-second transition up. You can't touch the bar until your 45-second window opens for your next lift. And again, we'll do it kind of like I said, waterfall style, where 2 teams, male, female start, and then they work their way up, and the next group comes in, then they move up, the next group comes in. You just kind of follow each other through until you complete either the whole ladder or you get knocked out because the weight's too heavy. So again, things to think about there. You have 45-second lift, 15-second transitions. You can lift as many times as you want in the 45-second windows. With the bar 1 through 7, once you get to bar number 8, you have only 1 chance at that bar. So if you miss it, you're done. If you and your partner both advance, you both can establish that max, but again, it has to be the exact same weight. You can't do one or the other. It's just we don't have time to be changing weights out. If I get out and you keep going and you make it, you keep going, right? So one person's not penalized because the other person can't lift the bar. Your score is your total amount of weight combined between the two of you. All right, that'll be event number 1 for our scaled team, intermediate team, and our RX teams. That'll take place on Saturday for intermediate and RX, and on Sunday for scaled. All right, so obviously you guys have any questions, let me know. All right, event number 2, which is the same event for all divisions minus some reps for the scale division, is going to be 2-parter. Part A will be 30 cal row for the men, 24 for the ladies, 30 synchronized lateral burpee over worm, 30 worm thrusters, then you have 60 cal row for the men, 40 for the women, 60 burpee box jump overs, and then 60 thrusters to finish out, 95 pounds for the men, 65 for the women. That is the RX version. Intermediate, the only difference you guys have is your weight 75 pounds for your thrusters at the end, and 55 for the women. For the scale division, your reps are cut down a little bit. I did notice there was an error on the post on social media. Yours is 25 cal row for the men, 20 for the ladies, then 25 synchronized burpee over worm, 25 worm thrusters, then you have 50 cal row for the men, 40 for the women, 50 burpee box jump overs or step overs, 50 thrusters, which would be 75 pounds for the men, 55 for the women. So those reps are a little bit different for the scale division. Before we go over standards, the floor here, right, 3, 2, 1, go. You guys will hop on your rower, and you can break that rope however you want, right? So if you and your partner want to evenly go 15, 15 or 12, 12, depending if you're male or female, that is your choice. One person wants to do all the calories, whatever, it's your choice. When you guys get to your burpees, right, the worm will be just in front of the rower. So you do your row, you'll move up, your worm will be facing the same direction as your rower. One person will be on the left side, one person will be on the right side, right? And you guys will essentially, right, if one person's on one side and one's on the other, you'll go over the worm, right, together. The synchronization will be on the floor. So you'll start on the floor together, you'll jump over the worm, land together, and then you'll repeat back and forth until you get to your 30 reps, or 30 reps. For the RX and intermediate, you have to jump over the bag. For scale division, you guys can step over if you want to. So you can do a burpee and you can step over the bar. A 1-foot takeoff is fine for the jump as long as 2 feet are in the air before the 1 foot comes down, right? For your synchronized burpee over worm. Again, the synchronization is on the ground, right? So if you're on the ground, one person's faster getting over the worm, that's fine. It just needs to be, you have to wait for your partner on the ground until you get that done. You can't be on both be on one side. You both have to be, one has to be at the bottom of the worm, one person's at the top, and you guys will go across from each other. It's easy for the judge to see when they're obviously watching you guys and holding your accountability. So that'll be the synchronized burpee over worm. For the worm thruster, you guys will clean the worm to the shoulder, hip crease past the knee, you go up. You do not have to lock out. As long as the worm goes from shoulder to shoulder, it counts. So the rep does not count until you go over. So it'd be up 1, up 2, right? So if you finish your last worm thruster, you can't just go overhead and throw it over, right? You have to come up, down, that's 30, then drop the worm, all right? Again, the only real difference in scale division is you guys are doing different numbers, right? So again, intermediate and RX, 30, 24, 30, 30. Scaled is 25 for the men, 20 for the women for your rower. And then the men and women are both doing 25 synchronized burpee over worm and 25 worm thrusters. So your reps are just a little bit less. When you finish your worm thrusters, you'll go back to your rower and you'll perform 60 cal row. If you're a male, 48 if you're a female, that's for the RX. And the intermediate, if you are scaled, you'll do 50 cal row for the men and you'll do 40 cal row for the ladies. When you finish that, you'll go off your rower, you'll work your way up the floor to your box. You now have 60 burpee box jump overs if you're in RX or intermediate division, or you have 50 burpee box jump overs if you're in the scaled division. All right, this is a facing, not lateral. So you'll face your box and you will do a burpee. And again, you can step up and then jump. For the RX and scale intermediate division, you must jump on the box. For scaled, you're allowed to step over if you want to. Step up, step over. 2-foot takeoff, 2 feet on the box. You can jump up and you can jump down if you want to. If you want to step down or jump down, it's your choice. And that matters, it's up to you. But again, if you're doing a scale division, you'll do a burpee and then you'll physically step up on the box or jump. If you can jump, you can jump. If you don't feel comfortable jumping, you're allowed to step up and over. It's not a lateral though. You can't go side to side. You must face your box, right? You must face your box. You must stay in your lane, right? After you perform 60 burpee box jump overs, 24 inches for the men, 20 for the ladies, that's the same height across all divisions. You'll move up to your barbell, you'll do 60 thrusters. Now with the burpee box jump overs and the thrusters, it's not synchronized. You can break it up however you want. You can do one at a time if you want to and switch. It's your choice, right? There's no given work requirement for you both to do. One can do more, one can do less, does not matter. All right, take the bar from the ground. You can squat clean your first rep if you want to, right? Go into a press overhead, hip crease pass below the knee, right? Lock out overhead for your thrusters, 95 for the men, 65 for the women. And that is for the RX division. Intermediate, your weight is 75-55. So that's the one thing changes for you guys. You have a lighter barbell. For the scale division, you guys have 50 thrusters and your weight is also 75-55. Right, so again, break it up however you want. When you finish your last thruster, right, the judge will then score your time. That'll be part A. You'll get a score for part A. When you finish your last thruster, then you will go back to your rower and whatever time's left over in an 18-minute cap, you accumulate as many calories as possible. That'll be part B, and then when the clock expires, you'll get a score for the amount of calories that you've accumulated in 18 minutes. All right, so that'll be a 2-part score. They give you guys a total of 5 scores for the weekend. All right, so again, that is event number 2 for the team division, scale, intermediate, and RX, and that'll be the flow, right? Rower to worm, from worm back to rower, and from rower to box, box to barbell, and then you return to that rower to finish out after you complete all the reps for part B, which again is a max calorie row. All right, so you get 2 points for that. 2 scores for that. You will get 100 points for the part A, and then we'll let you guys know. It depends on how many teams we have. It's hard to do 50 points for a team like when you have a lot of teams because it starts to saturate a little bit of the numbers. So working with our scoring company to figure out the best solution for that. So it might end up being 100 points. So you might not get 100 points because we have a bunch of teams in our intermediate division and as well as our scale women. So we'll let you guys know the exact scoring process as far as how many points you get here, but obviously everything else is CrossFit game scoring, so everything you get here is 100 points, right? So 100 points, then 95, then 90, then so on and so forth. So a lot of opportunity to make up points if you have a bad finish. Some competitions go, first place gets 1 point, second place gets 2. Not a big fan of that because you might have 3 third place finishes and you can't get back into the competition because there's not enough points. So this gives you an opportunity to get more points. So let's you know the exact number of points we're going to offer for this after we get done talking with our scoring system. But that'll be part A, part B. Then you guys will move into, so if you're in the RX team division, this will finish your day for Saturday. You'll do your max lift, your 18-minute workout, and then you guys are going to rest for the rest of the day. If you are intermediate team, you're going to keep going because you guys only compete for 1 day. Your next workout for the weekend will be, board here real quick. It's essentially the same workout that RX team's doing on Sunday, but you guys are obviously doing the day before. And that would be 2 rounds for time, 50 wall ball shots, 30 toes to bar, 100 100-foot sandbag carry each, 10 shuttle runs that are synchronized at 100 feet. And then your first round, you do 30 chest to bar pull-ups. And then your second round, you have a variation of bar muscle ups, right? So that's what the intermediate's gonna do. 50 wall balls, 30 toe to bar. Again, this toe to bar can be broken up however you want. 15-15, your choice. If one person's better, they can do more. For your sandbag carry, you each are gonna carry the bag. So for the men's 150 pounds. For the women's 100 pounds. You guys will carry it essentially the length of the floor, right? So you guys will start with wall ball shots under the rig here, 3, 2, 1, go. When you finish up your wall ball shots at 50, you'll move back to the rig, you 30 toes to bar, then your sandbag will be waiting for you at the very base of the competition floor. You guys will take it down 50 feet and take it back 50 feet. And those carries will be done by each partner, right? So you can obviously, go down. You can, as long as you drop the bag every 5 foot increments, that's fine. If you drop it before a 5 foot increment, you have to pick it up, go back to where the 5 foot increment is. But you take it all the way down to the 50 foot. If you're gonna drop it at the very end, that's fine. And then you can obviously pick it back up and bring it back down. Then your partner's gonna go. They're gonna take the sandbag, they're gonna carry it down 50 feet, bring it back 50 feet. Once you both have done that, you then will go 10 synchronized shuttle runs. So down and back is 1. So 50 feet down, 50 feet back is 1 shuttle run for the intermediate division. Down, back 1, down, back 2, 10 times. When you get back, you have 30 chest to bar pull-ups, again, broken up however you like, right? After you finish your 30 chest to bar pull-ups, that completes round number 1, right? Then you do the whole entire thing again. The only difference is, instead of doing chest to bar after your synchronized shuttle runs, you'll do 15 bar muscle-ups if you're a male team, and you'll do 10 bar muscle-ups if you're a female team. One person can do all the bar muscle-ups. Doesn't matter, you guys can break it up however you like. There's no work requirement when it comes to that movement. So that'll be the intermediate version. Again, that'll happen directly after you do event number 2, because you guys are gonna be there all day. If you are in the RX division, right, you do this on Sunday. You guys have 2 rounds for time of 50 wall ball shots. Again, you'll start under the rig, 3, 2, 1, come out. You'll do your 50 wall ball shots. Again, broken up however you like. You guys will move to the pull-up bar, and you will do 25 synchronized toe to bar. So you both are making contact with your feet in between your hands simultaneously for it to count. So if one person hits and the next person hits, say no rep. It needs to be consistent contact at the same time. 25 synchronized toe to bar. As far as your 100-foot sandbag carry, kind of we talked about the intermediate division, your sandbag will be at the base of the rig. The difference for you guys is you'll take your sandbag down, and then about 35 feet down the competition floor, we'll have our log set up, and you will have to take the sandbag over top the log, which is 44 inches high, and then jump over the log. You're gonna push yourself up and over, hop over, but you'll go over, pick your sandbag up, go down 15 feet, hit the line, turn around, come back, throw the sandbag over top the log again, jump over the log, pick the sandbag up, go down to your partner and give it to them. Then your partner will do the exact same thing. Take the sandbag down, go to the log, over top the log, go to the end line, come back, and when you've done that, you'll drop the sandbag. Then together, you will do a synchronized shuttle run of 5. You'll go down and you'll jump over the log together. The log will be 8 feet wide for the both of you. So should be enough space that if you guys go at the same exact time over top, you can, or if you kind of stagger, one person goes over, the next person goes over, it's kind of whatever you feel comfortable with, but you both will go down together, go over top. The synchronization for your shuttle run will be that at the very end, we'll have your chest piece, and you guys will be required to touch the chest piece right at the same time. So if I get over the log first, I have to wait for my partner at the chest piece. Once you both touch it, you'll come back, you'll jump back over the log, run back down, do a 3-point touch, which means your feet and your hands are behind the line together. Again, that's the synchronization at the very bottom. So if your partner's running faster, they have to wait for you. Once you both touch that line together, you come back, repeat that for a total of 5 times, all right? Then when you get back, you have 20 bar muscle-ups for the men, and you have 15 for the ladies. Again, that'll be done for 2 consecutive rounds. When you guys finish up your last round, I don't know if I mentioned this for the intermediate teams, when you finish your last round of bar muscle-ups, you'll run back down together. You'll jump over top of your log. Again, same for your intermediate teams. You'll jump over your log, and you guys will cross the finish line. You'll finish up by touching that chest piece again to finish out your workout, all right? That'll be event number 3 for both intermediate division as well as our RX division, all right? Again, if you have any questions, that's the flow of the workout. Obviously, you guys can ask us, after seeing this video, or in the athlete control area when you guys get ready to go on the competition floor. If you're in the scale division, right, which takes place on Sunday, your 3rd event will be on the secondary floor, and you guys have a 100-foot warm carry, 50 power snatches at 75 pounds for the men, 55 for the women, 100-foot warm carry, 50 shoulder to overhead, same weight, 100-foot warm carry, 50 power cleans, same weight, and then a 100-foot warm carry to finish out. 12-minute cap here on this workout. I didn't mention, but event number 3 for the RX and intermediate is also a 15-minute cap. So 15-minute cap for event 3 for those guys, 12-minute cap for our scale division. As far as our warm carry, Right? We'll have a bunch of worms in the worm area. They have handles on the worms, right? I'm not gonna tell you how you have to hold the worm. If you guys wanna both be on one side, you can. Just from testing, and this is my little, the coach in me, it makes sense to have one person on the left side of the worm and then one person on the right side of the worm. That way kind of counterbalance the worm and it's easier to carry, right? When you guys are carrying the worm, you carry it off the ground on the handles and you'll walk down 50 feet. I apologize, you guys are on the secondary floor. You guys will go down 25 feet, right? Once you get 25 feet, I have people ask me questions about this. At your 25-foot marker, can you turn? The answer is no. What you'll want to do is you'll hold the handle. You have two options. You can put the bag down and you can turn and you can pick it up and you can go. So now I'm on the left side and obviously, or my left hand I should say, another person's holding the right side. Or again, in testing, what we did is we got here and all we did was switch hands, right? And turn and face the opposite direction and walk it back. Then we get the 25 foot back down again. You'll switch hands, right? Walk it back. So down 25 feet, back 25 is 50. Down 25 is 75, back is 100. So you have your worm at the base of the competition floor for the scale division. Your barbell's at the top. So when you finish your worm carries, you'll run to the top of the competition floor and you'll do 50 snatches. Again, does not matter how you break it up. You break it up evenly or one person can do more. 75 pounds for the men, 55 for the women. Make sure the knees, hips are locked out, bar is overhead. All right, when you finish your 50 snatches, you'll run back down. Grab your worm, same thing. You'll go down 25, back 25, up 25, back 25. You'll finish the base again, come back to your bar. You have 50 shoulders overhead. It could be a push press, it could be a push jerk. I don't think at that weight anybody's doing split jerks, but if you do, only thing that matters at the very end of the whole entire thing is you guys finish with the knees extended, hips extended, and the bar locked out overhead. Then you go back to your worm for your carries, come back, you have 50 power cleans. Again, all we're looking for here is the knees and hips and elbows. Elbows are through, knees and hips are extended for those power cleans. And then the last thing you'll do is you'll do your 25 down, 25 back, 25 down, 25 back. Then both partners will run together down the finish line and touch their chest piece to finish out their workout. All right? That'll be event number 3, all right, with a 12-minute cap for our scale division. All right, again, that'll happen on Sunday on the second floor. All right? For the 4th event, for the final event, which will be the top 10 teams for our intermediate division and our RX team division, you guys will be on the secondary floor and you'll finish up with a little bit of a chipper. Again, this is for the top 10 teams. This will happen on Sunday for the RX teams. It'll happen on Saturday for our intermediate. This will finish your first day or your day on Saturday on intermediate team. The workout will be 30 clean and jerks, 135 for the men, 95 for the women if you're RX. If you're intermediate, it's 115 for the men and 85 pounds for the ladies. 30 clean and jerks. Again, you can go back and forth if you want to. Your barbell, again, will be at the top of the competition floor. So 3, 2, 1, go. You guys will run up to your bar, right? One person stands off to the side, right? And that person will do whatever. 3 clean and jerks in a row. It could be touch and go. It could be singles. Doesn't matter. From the ground, overhead. Again, make sure we're locked out at the top of that press, right? And you guys can go back and forth to get 30 reps. Again, 115 for the intermediate division and 85 pounds for the men. I'm sorry, for the women, 115 for the men. RX is 135 for the men, 95 for the ladies. When you finish that, you'll go back down and your jump rope will be positioned next to your worm. And the men will, the RX division will do 200 double unders. Again, break up however you want. If one person wants to do more, they can. The intermediate division will do 150 double unders. You have 50 less. Again, broken up however you want. Then you guys have your worm carry, right? Same thing, pick the handle up, you'll walk it down 25 feet, switch hands, or again, you can drop the bag, pick it up, and you'll face the direction and go back, right? Once you go down and back for 150 total feet, you'll go, you'll put that worm down, you'll drop it, or if you want to cross the line, right, cross, again, when you're doing the carries, it's not the first person in the front that has to finish the distance, it's the person in the back. So if I'm in the front, when I walk up, I have to make sure the person in the back clears the line, and then you guys can switch. So if you guys clear the line at the base, right, and you want to, you can either clean the worm to your shoulder and squat, or you can drop it and then pick it up. But clean to your shoulder and squat, you're gonna drop below parallel, lock out. We're gonna do that 30 times, 30 worm squats. Then it's up to you. You can either drop it from your shoulder to your handle again and walk it up for 150 feet, or you can drop it to the ground, again, pick it up walk it down to accumulate 150 feet. After that, you're back to your jump rope, which again is positioned directly beside. So when you get back for your last little bit of your distance, you'll basically go back, drop the worm, and you'll do your 200 double unders, I apologize. 200 for the RX division, 150 for the intermediate division. And then last thing to do is after you finish your jump rope, come back to your barbell, do 30 power snatches at that weight that you started with, 135 for the men, 95 for the ladies if you're RX, or 115 for the men, 85 for the ladies if you are in the intermediate division, right? Doing your snatches, just make sure you guys stand all the way up, position the bar behind the ears to make sure you guys are all the way up. When you finish that, you guys will drop the bar, cross your finish line, touch your chest piece, and you'll be done. You have a 13-minute cap to get this done, 13 minutes, right? That'll be the final event for those RX teams and those intermediate teams. So again, top 10 teams will compete in that, and then obviously we'll have a podium after that for the winners. All right, that'll complete that division's workouts, right? So obviously, if you have any questions about the flow, again, barbell top of the competition floor towards the closest to the finish line, your worm and your jump rope at the backside where you guys will start, and then kind of work your way back and forth to get that done, all right? For the scale division, your last workout will be on the main floor, right? You guys will start with 50 wall ball shots. So 3, 2, 1, go, you'll come onto the rig, approach your ball, I should say, do 50 shots. Break up however you want, your choice if you want to be even, or if one person wants to do more, it's completely fine. Once you finish up your wall ball shots, you guys will go, because these wall ball shots are offset in comparison to the matting, your lanes. You guys will come together and do 10 synchronized shuttle runs. So you guys will run down, touch your chest piece, together, come back, do a 3-point touch behind the line, and you do that for 10 total reps. You go down and back with 100 feet 10 times. So it's a decent amount of running, right? So down 50 feet, back 50 feet, 1 rep, 10 times. When you finish that up, your rec bags will be set up because the lanes are 4 foot in width. One bag will be on the outside here, one bag will be on the outside there. That way you have perfect running lanes for your shuttle runs. You'll pick your bag up, put it on your shoulder together, and you will do a synchronized. So the dual rec bag lunge is a synchronized lunge. That means you're going to make contact on the ground, the back knee at the same time, and you guys will get extension at the same time, right? So you got to kind of really focus on staying in sync with that person, right? So again, you're going to make contact with the floor, and you're going to lock out together at the same time for your synchronization the whole way down. Once you cross your 50-foot line at the end, you guys will lunge back. When you lunge back, you'll drop your bags off right there. You've done your 100 foot. So 50 down, 50 back gives you 100 feet. Then you guys do the wall walks on the plexiglass walls. They'll be just like your standard open. You'll have a 30-inch line that's 10 inches off the wall, right? You guys start with your chest on the ground, right? And your feet need to be on the wall, both feet before your hands move the tape line. All right, we'll have a standard tape line, kind of just in the middle as far as the distance between your hands and stuff. So in the open and whatnot, they have I forget the number is, but they have a basic distance for your hands to touch, your fingertips to touch. We'll have that same distance. So open standard will be the open standard for your wall walks, right? So the 10-inch off the wall, 30-inch wide tape line, and then we'll have a tape line for the men and the women for their fingertips. Both your feet have to be on the wall at the same time before your hands leave that tape line. You'll walk your hands in. As long as your hands touch the tape line at some sort, so the palm can touch, that counts as a rep. You have to come all the way back down to a flat position on the ground for that rep to count. You can do 1 for 1 person can do multiple reps, but you have 10 total wall walks between you and your partner. Then you guys will move into 20 synchronized pull-ups, right? So once you finish up so again, you've done your lunge back, you're under the rig, you're doing your wall walks, you come out, approach your pull-up bar. If you're doing a butterfly or a kipping pull-up, all that matters is you guys have to be above the bar at the same time for that to be synchronized, right? 20 total reps to finish out. When you finish your 20th rep, you guys will run down the competition floor through the red mat finish line, and that will complete the workout. Again, 10-minute cap will be the workout for your final. Again, top 10 women's teams, top 10 men's teams will compete in this final event on Sunday. So again, for the most part, pretty straightforward, right? Not a lot of moving pieces because most of the stuff is either running or lunging, but most of the stuff is under the rig, right? So again, 50 wall ball shots, 10 synchronized shuttle runs, 100-foot synchronized rec bag lunge, 10 wall walks, and then you have 20 synchronized pull-ups. If it's not synchro, like the wall balls and the wall walks, you can break it up however you want. If it's synchronized, you're working with your partner. Again, that'll be the final event for the top 10 teams in the scale division. After that, obviously, we'll have our podium as well. So this is all the workouts for our team divisions this year. Again, if you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. You can email me or you can message us through social media at the event. In athlete control area, you guys can also ask questions if you need to. This will be our 11th year of METCON Rush. We're super excited to see you guys here really soon. Again, if you have any questions at all regarding the workouts, please let us know. Otherwise, we'll see you guys here soon.